This week on Not Another Shooting Show.
Maybe the Army should have the shadow tip.
It's November and it was 65 degrees.
Why are booby traps allowed in South Dakota?
Why is an elephant not allowed to be kept in a bathtub in New York?
I wonder if that's why my gun's locking up like the slide stop engaged, but the slide stop has nothing to do with why the slide stopped moving.
You're going to make me wear a plate carrier and do burpees? I'll just shoot myself. Like, that sounds more fun.
He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is Not Another Shooting Show. We go to Long Beach, California, I think. I'm going to go with that. A man was hospitalized Monday evening after accidentally shooting himself during a fight near downtown Long Beach, according to police. Long Beach police say the man was fighting with another person on 5th Street around 7:46 p.m. At some point during the fight, the man's gun accidentally went off, according to the LBPD, striking him in the lower body. The other person he was fighting then left the area. Officers responded to the scene and rendered aid to the man. He was later treated by firefighters and had non-life-threatening injuries. Officers recovered the firearm at the scene. Police did not say what prompted the fight between the man and the other person or whether they knew each other or not. Investigation is ongoing. Now, assuming this gun's not a P320, more on that in a moment. I kind of have to give props to this guy for getting in a fight and not going to the gun in a situation that's not necessarily deadly force ready to go.
Right. You gotta. Sometimes you gotta throw some hands with some people and just let the chips go where they lie.
Yeah. So I guess a little bit of I don't know, props. Like, yeah, let's give him props.
Props for his stupidity.
Props.
But respectful stupidity.
Speaking of P320s, there is a story from, I think it's CBS. Yeah, CBS Austin in Texas. So remember that story a few weeks ago where we had the cop in Marble Falls, Texas. I don't know why I remember the name of that town, but I do. Cop in Marble Falls. He's reaching into his car to grab his phone or something when he was getting ready to go to a football game or whatever, and pop, gun goes off in his holster.
Yeah.
And so this actually happened while a reporter from CBS Austin was doing a story on another one that happened back in May. That you and I don't believe had talked about. A police officer by the name of Kevin Currington had this happen to him on May 9th. He was critically injured when his gun discharged without warning. He nearly bled to death. A bystander used a belt to be sort of a half-assed tourniquet, and then another officer finally arrives with a real tourniquet and got the leaking turned off just in time, it sounds like. But the most and this story is long. Like it'll be in the NAS Reddit by the time you hear this. So go to reddit.com/r/NASS. You will find a link to this story at cbsaustin.com. It's very long. The video is quite damning. The reporter is talking about both, like, he was doing a story about how this happened to this guy in LaGrange, Texas back in May when the one in Marble Falls happened. He's literally working on the story, and then it happened again. So then it ends up a two-parter. Then he interviews a lawyer who's representing both of them. This is the part of the video I'm going to play for you because hoofda, like, mostly because I want the guy, the lawyer they're interviewing, to say the things that are going to get said here because, spicy.
Contacted 6 Hour headquarters about this new case and second misfire in 4 months. 6 Hour said claims that the P320 is capable of firing without a trigger pull are without merit and have been soundly rejected as a matter of law by 16 separate courts, including a unanimous jury verdict in 6 Hour's favor.
He continues to shoot cop after cop
Attorney Jeff Bagnell represents Officer Currington and Officer Galley. He says Sig Sauer has acknowledged the gun can fire without a trigger pull.
SIG itself has said that vibration over time can make the gun fail. It's said in patent documents that are public documents that an impulse to the gun can make the internals fail so that the gun fires. These are SIG's own documents.
Bagnell wants Sig Sauer.
Yeah. So, interesting little expose done by this guy at the CBS affiliate in Austin, Texas.
Yeah. Going based off what he said, makes me, glad that I don't own a Sig Sauer. And if you, I don't know, go running with your Sig, or maybe for some reason you wear your Sig during your fun time, maybe don't do that anymore. Because don't want those vibrations.
When I teach a permit class, there's almost always one P320 in the class. Almost always one. And the one I had this past weekend is actually the first one in a long time that there wasn't a P320. Oddly enough, there was an FN. That overpriced pistol. But I say this and I'm like, hey, if you like the gun and you like shooting it and it's a fun range toy, by all means, keep it. Just don't carry it. Don't have it loaded in an appendix holster pointed at your cock. That sounds like not good policy.
Right.
And for one of the videos they showed that wasn't these two guys, it was a different one. It seems like in and out of car bumping is part of it, because there was one guy who bumps his holster getting out and it didn't hit him. It just went through his holster and hit the ground. But it was a similar deal. Like, in and out of the car is like the dangerous time. Why? I don't know. But I would just like them to fix it. Like, make it so it can't happen.
It's remarkable that it's gone this long without them doing, like, I know they do a lot of kind of, I'm going to call them ninja repairs, where they update a model without telling anybody, and like maybe that's fixing it ever so slightly, but that still means there's someone with a P320 in a box that they haven't opened since, whenever they came out, 2013 or whatever, that isn't fixed. And maybe one day he goes, you know what, I'm going to start carrying this, or I'm going to give it to my son who needs a gun because he's joining the police force and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, boys.
Yeah. Coming up later in the show, I can't wait to talk about my, I started messing with the 10 millimeter reloads for deer hunting. Got some interesting data and experience, and that's coming up in a little bit. Jeff just shot a match. That's coming up shortly. But a great question Jeff just typed into the rundown. What gun should the military replace the P320 with? It is just the Army that's got it, right?
No, it's...
is it everybody?
Every branch uses it. The M17 and M18.
Okay. So what should they do? Honestly, is it even a question?
I mean, I have my choice, but
how simple would it be to just, hey, guess what? The M19 service pistol will be the Glock 19. How fucking simple can we make it?
I did love that during the trials for this, because for those of you who don't know about the modern handgun service trials, or I think it was the MHS, they cost like $100-something million to run. Like, it was obscene how much money this cost. And even the guy in charge of it was like, I could go to Cabela's and just order a bunch of Glocks.
Yeah.
and get a better price than what we are paying to find this perfect pistol, which, ironically, they didn't go with the perfect pistol, apparently.
No. And so, I've heard part of it is like, Army want safety. Glock no make safety.
Right,
Army want safety.
M&P made safety.
M&P make safety. Sig Sauer make safety. Ooh. We take pistol with no trigger safety and thumb safety.
Correct. It was.
God, you know what? Now that you brought up the M&P, I kind of wish they'd have gone with the M&P.
Right. So like,
just like give that gun a boost.
I know I'm super biased. Like I recognize, like everybody, I have a built-in bias that the M&P is great because it's the one I like.
But it is great.
It
is a great pistol. Like the 2.0 is a great pistol.
The 2.0 fixed a lot of the problems of the original one. Fully agree that the 1.0 had its issues.
I think it fixed all the problems except that it created a new one that lefties cannot drop the slide with the slide stop.
Yes.
Cannot happen.
Right. And so it's it's an American made pistol. So you know, you're not buying, I mean, I know 6 Hour is basically an American company at this point, but I think at the time it was still a Swiss company. Glockenspiel is Austrian. Mm-hmm. But now part of this conversation is pistols aren't really that important overall.
No, they're not.
But it's still something that the military needed, somewhere between 250,000 and 500,000 handguns. So like, it was a big contract.
Yep.
And so it's one of those, like, I think the M&P with the because like, I think the interchangeable backstrap system of the M&P would be something that actually gets used versus the different sized grip module of the 6 Hour. Because if you talk to anyone in the military, anything adjustable is fake. Because they're like, they do not give us the extra parts. Like they
got lost. They're in a bin somewhere.
Right. Or when you go to the armory, you just go, I need a gun. And they just go back and grab the next one off the rack and hand it to you. And so, you know, this isn't the one you pick out. This is your personal one. You don't get it every time. And so the idea that you could be like, hey, I have smaller hands, so could I get the small grip module, please? Like that doesn't exist. Like everywhere I've read, everyone I've talked to is like, oh, I've never seen another grip module size. There's one grip module size. And I feel like the M&P, at least you could be like, hey, I pick between one of these three, hold on to it, that's yours. When you get the pistol, take whatever one is on it off, and then put yours on it, and when you turn it back in, take that one off and put the other one back on.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a good system.
Because those are super cheap.
Yeah.
Like the back straps, if you buy like spares, they're like $10 or something like that. Right,
exactly. And so I feel like that would have been a better system. It gives them the safety. I've never actually shot an M&P with a safety, but I know that it is an option that they sold.
Yeah,
because people like them. But it's kind of one of those. They kind of picked the 6 Hour because it had the modularity conversation. But again, going back to it, every system that's like, ooh, this is modular, and you're like, yeah, we've never seen the modules. They never come out.
Well, and it's not only that, but it's also like the interchangeability of isn't it the slides as well?
Yeah, because you can change
part of the. Oh, that's like the grip module thing. But like part of it too, though, is like the like with the 19X, / Glock 45. Yep. Like that takes the Glock 19 frame as well. I remember that being part of the modularity, like having the bigger grips versus the smaller ones, which they're the same size. It's just a matter of how long they are, you know. But no, now that you say the M&P, like the no-brainer decision is just like, yeah, just Glock 19, 17, 47, what the fuck ever, you know.
Right.
Whichever one they think they want.
Right.
Great. But I kind of want to root for the M&P.
Right. And so there's that side to it. The other side, and I'm kind of getting this mindset over watching a lot of videos on like procurement issues across the world, is we need to get into this process where we just go, hey, everyone else has tested this. Let's just get their information and go based off that. Like, And so, like you said, Glock 19, Glock 17, Glock 19, or M&P 2.0 4-inch, with the full grip or with the compact grip. Ta-da! Problem is solved. Mm-hmm. and you just contact, be like, hey, we need to order a lot of these, and they'll be like, we'll give you a great price. Let's go.
But I mean, and the price they sell Glocks to police departments is insanely cheap. Like Glock made their money basically by marketing. They marketed that pistol by selling it to police departments super cheap, so cheap like they couldn't possibly go, "No, we want to keep our Smith & Wesson revolvers.
Right.
That's what we want to do. We're gonna keep those. Oh, but these are $200. Okay, we'll buy your Tupperware. Right. and that was the market. And then as it proliferated, then the general buying public's like,
it's what the police use.
It's what cops use. That's got to be a decent gun,
Yeah.
So
it's a winning strategy.
Are there any others though that you'd be like should maybe the Army should have the Shadow 2?
I'm all for it if it's going to make the safeties and the slide stops cheaper and more available. I'm here for it because CZ, please make one extended safety for every Shadow 2 you make. That's all I'm asking. Just one per gun.
Oh, did I mention I finally got one for mine?
Oh, nice.
Vince was able to procure me a left-handed extended Shadow 2 safety, and like, hey, I found it for you. And then like, I didn't hear anything back. I also forgot to respond, but didn't hear anything back. And then I get a link to go buy it on his website, and I'm like, sweet! I finally have an extended safety. I can finally shoot my Shadow 2 in single action. If I shoot it in yellow. But yeah. No, I'm not converting it to single action. I'm just...
Right.
It's just so I can use it as a single action gun.
And you didn't have to sacrifice your first child?
No. $88. I mean, it was... Yeah, I had to buy both halves, but that's just how they're selling
them.
Yeah,
that's the price on them. They've been $90 when it's unfortunate.
It's amazing how much better those safeties work when you install them correctly.
Oh, there's a shocker.
Yeah.
Put the right detent spring in it. That
retention, it's not a pin. It's like a flat hunk of metal that goes on the right-hand side of the gun if you're behind it. That was the part that was missing for my TAC Sport that was causing malfunctions left, right, and center.
Okay.
Because it was an aftermarket CZ Custom safety. I have this giant sail of a fin on it, or a safety on it.
Yeah, I've seen those, yeah.
And it works great for the way I grip a pistol. Because anything smaller is harder for me to do it because I have to grip it weird because of my elbow. But I found this part in my TAC Sport Orange box that I was like, what is this? And I don't remember. I think I posted it somewhere, and immediately Vince and Robert are both like, oh, that's the detent pin or whatever for the right-hand side of your safety. I'm like, oh, I bet that's important.
I have these 7 other pieces.
I wonder if that's why my gun's locking up like the slide stop engaged, but the slide stop has nothing to do with why the slide stopped moving. Turns out it's an important part. I'm not a gunsmith. I'm an idiot. Anyway, good topic. If you have thoughts on the service pistol the Army should adopt, not that they're looking yet, but go into the NAS episode 74, 75 Reddit thread, the super thread we got posted on there, and we can chat more about it there.
Right. We'll make a comment or respond below that comment so that it doesn't get too crowded in there.
Yeah.
But
it's fine if it gets crowded. We'll find it. Okay. Jeff shot his last match of the year.
Yeah,
today.
I did because it's November and it was 65 degrees, and by the end of the day, everyone was like, "I dressed too warm for this."
What was the temp in the morning though? Tough time of the year to dress for a match.
Mid 40s.
It was not bad then.
Yeah, I was not cold when I walked out, and I was like,
in Spearfish last weekend, my testicles were missing, or 2 weekends ago, my testicles were gone. Like, everything was shriveled up inside trying to stay warm. Like, I did not dress for that morning because it was like 37 degrees in the morning.
Yep.
And then as soon as the sun came up over the canyon wall, boom, it was like 70.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, I'm warm. I'm taking my jacket off. You know?
Right. That was us last week shooting matches. Is like I was building a stage with my coat on. I'm like, damn, this is too warm. Then I took my coat off. I'm like, now I'm too cold. I'm like, this is bullshit.
Yes.
And then the sun came up, and I'm like, and I'm hot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's that annoying season. It's just starting 2 months later than it's supposed to.
Yep.
So yeah, I started my day off by yelling at a match director because I am an asshole.
Jeff,
Well,
why
okay.
are you such an asshole?
So
like, I'm going to get messages about what an asshole you are. Again.
Correct.
Like, this is, I mean, I'm not going to do anything about it, but I'm going to get messages about what a dick you are.
You're correct, as you should, and you're welcome to direct them towards me. If you're ever at a match with me, I'm either fairly quiet, or I'm talking with my people, or I can be a massive dick. I have, it just depends on the day. So, in this case, though, I feel my assholeness was justified because I was defending the enjoyment of C-class shooters. So,
Wait. There were people who messaged me that were upset because you didn't want C-class shooters to shoot level 2s.
correct.
You were you were standing up for C-class shooters? What?
Yes.
What?
I still find value in them. I care about them. I want them to do well, but I also want level 2s to mean something. So, and that's a conversation we're going to continue
we'll
later.
get into that in a little bit too.
So, one of my buddies, Colin, good dude, he called me up the day before the match, and he said, I have this idea for a stage. And I listened to it, and I said, that's retarded. Do not do that. Please do not do that. That's an awful idea. Please do not do that. And he goes, tell me why. He wanted to put the spinner target from his 3-gun matches on a stage. And I explained to him that, and he told me, he said, he already talked to Todd, and according to the hit factor rules, technically it wasn't against the rules. Okay, so we've got that part down. He talked to the match director. The match director said, I like that target. Let's put that target in there. Okay, so he's got approval. So he's asking me to get one more opinion. And my opinion always goes to, let's have the most fun with the least amount of effort. And he explained that he had actually taken the target out that day, and he had fired 750 rounds at it. We can have a long conversation. Yes, we can have a long conversation about the usefulness of firing 750 rounds at anything. But when I asked, well, like, what's the penalty? Because in multi-gun, if you don't spin the spinner, it's like a 60-second penalty.
Yeah, or whatever they decide the penalty is.
Right. And he said, well, they figured out that the penalty would be 20 seconds. Essentially, it'd be like 5 procedurals or like I wasn't 100% sure how they were going to put that together. I'm not 100%. Anyways, and I said, okay, so you fired 750 rounds at it. What were your times? And he goes, well, my best time was 9 seconds. I go, oh, that's a very good time. What was your average time? He goes, probably about 15 seconds. I was like, whoa. So Colin is a high B class shooter. On a good day, he might be in an A class if he's really, really pushing himself. And I was like, bro, as an A class shooter, it took you 15 seconds. So everyone below you is going to take longer than
Jesus.
that. And he's like, oh, yeah. And I was like, dude, you're creating a target that's not worth shooting at. He's like, oh, yeah, that does make sense. Okay. And so we had a nice conversation about figuring out if this was going to work. And in that conversation, we decided it wasn't going to work. Well, Colin overslept his alarm. And so I rolled up to the match actually fairly early for me. It was before 8 o'clock. And he wasn't there, and they were trying to set up a stage. And I was like, I talked to him. Just put steel on the stage. We turned it into this wonderful little 14-round stage, whatever. And the match director's like, well, we talked about putting the spinner, and I want to put the spinner there. And I was like, absolutely not. You will not put that spinner there. And we started having a conversation about it. And when I'm fired up, I'm fired up. And I'm a large person who's very loud. And so I was yelling at the match director very quickly. And I was like, you shouldn't be yelling at 7:57 in the morning. It's way too early for this. But I was doing it to defend the fun of the C-class shooters and to make sure the match didn't take forever. Because
that stage would have taken forever.
Even if a smart person would go, well, and figuring out the logistics behind it, me and Andy were talking about it before the match, before we started recording, and we still don't know how the logistics would work on it. Like,
no, I would throw one at the top plate, one at the bottom plate, and call it a day. Like, give me the penalties.
Right. Yeah. And
I'm probably coming out ahead.
Yeah, that would probably be the smart move. But there'd be C-class shooters, and that would try to go to war with it. And I
would tell every C and D, C, and B class shooter on my squad, throw one round at each plate and move on. Do not try to spin this thing.
Yep, and that's what I try to say. And Lane brought up a wonderful point, Drink, that as a match management, you're taking what is normally our smallest bay, and you're turning it into a time that will be longer than our largest bay.
Yeah.
And it got heated. It got very heated amongst the people, to the point that one of the cops that shoots with us exposed his authoritarianism, and he's like, "Well, if I was match director, I'd DQ both of you." And I was like, "You can go fuck yourself, because you don't help, and I don't care."
Can you please clarify though that when you shit on cops and three gunners, you're mostly talking about people at your club that you know?
In general, I am expressing opinions based off of my experiences at my club with the cops and these three gunners that I deal with. I don't go anywhere else and shoot with very many
because
three gunners.
All of these frustrations you have do not exist at any club I shoot at in South Dakota. They don't happen. They're not a thing.
And I get that. I understand that it exists, but I also refuse to go anywhere else and shoot, because I have gone to one other 3-gun match, and it was the exact same 3-gun bullshit that I deal with at my own club, and I'm like, maybe this isn't localized to me. Because I believe you. I believe you 100%, and I believe everyone who messages Andy, because none of you messaged me about it, that your club and your 3-gunners are good people, and they do awesome. Well, okay, but the two clubs I've gone to have made me hate a sport that involves more shooting, as someone who devotes most of my free time to shooting.
I want to real quick interject here that everything you've talked about so far, that still a round hasn't been fired in the match, this all sounds to me like an argument to go back to USPSA.
And that is what we are going to do. So this is one of those things, and I get a little big macro picture here. You never understand where a rule comes from until you have to deal with why that rule exists. Everyone, like, I hear it all the time. People are like, we need to get rid of regulation. We need to get rid of regulation. I go, which regulations and why? And then explain to me, like, I believe every regulation should have the story next to it about why.
Yeah, like, why are booby traps allowed in South Dakota? Somebody find that answer for me. Jesus.
Right. Like, why is an elephant not allowed to be kept in a bathtub in New York? I want to know this story.
These are answers we need questions answered for.
Right, exactly. And so for every USPSA rule, there should be the story next to it about, like, I remember from our RO class, why the legs of it, or the stands for walls are not part of the construction. They don't exist because some guy, the wall was part of the shooting area. It was the fault line. So he ran around and stood on the wall support and shot everything in front of the wall.
Oh.
That's why that rule exists. And you're like, why the fuck does this need to be written down? Because it needs to be written down.
Mm-hmm.
And so
the way the rule's written, if you could figure out a way to, like, Spider-Man yourself to the other side of a wall, you could shoot anything you want to if that wall is serving as the fault line.
Technically, yes.
Yeah.
So
our walls would all collapse under my weight, but
samesies.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this target, and literally that was one of the arguments used by the match director was, hey, we are not going to be doing hit factor matches as our monthly match anymore. We're going back to USPSA. Let's do one more fun thing. And I said, this isn't fun. You are destroying the day of like 30 to 40 people at this match.
And you're altering the outcome of the match.
Right, because setting up a stage with an ending that people are or with a piece of it that people either aren't getting to or are are encouraged to not do is not a good stage plan or it's not a good stage design. And it's unfortunate because like a lot of people there, and it happens a lot where people are like, hey, like I got this great idea for this thing. Like we're going to do this and this and this and this, and it's going to be this, and you're like, that sounds awful. Like to use a whole other sport as an example, the tactical games sound like the worst possible thing ever to me. You're going to make me wear a plate carrier and do burpees. I'll just shoot myself. Like that sounds more fun.
But I mean,
but people love it. But
there's clearly a lot of people who love it.
Right. And so it's learning to read your audience. So
yeah.
I would say that once we got past that moment. Which,
okay, tell me good stuff about the match, Jeff.
So good
be
stuff
positive. Spend at least 90 seconds being positive.
Okay, so once we got rid of that dumb thing, the 4 out of the 5 stages were great. They were fun. One of them I looked at and I'm like, oh man, this is pretty simple. Ate everybody's lunch.
Oh really?
And, yeah,
that's like the best stage ever.
Right. I can post a video. It was Heidi's stage, and she put the Texas Star at about 15, 20 yards. So it was a challenging shot. But she put these 2 targets at like a crisscross angle. And I'll post a video so that this makes more sense. But everyone was going past one of the targets and having to come back for it. Like 6 out of 12 people on my squad had to go back for that target.
Like it was easy to forget.
Yeah, it was. You get done with the star, and you had to take like 1 half step over to see this target at the back of the bay, and you could only see it for about a 3-foot window. But there was a target, like a no shoot, really difficult no shoot target that you could literally transition straight to from the star, and then you'd have to transition back to go to this other target that was kind of behind the wall. And so people would just go star, no shoot paper, and then they'd be stepping forward, take the one behind the wall, and then they'd have to come back to shoot that one because they forgot it. And it ate everybody's lunch. And a star at 15 to 20 yards is not an easy time. That one, again, maybe move the star 5 yards forward because it ate a lot of people's lunch.
I mean, a Texas Star is, in USPSA, it's a legal target at a level 1, but it's, I cringe every time I see one. I think they're awesome as shotgun targets in a 3-gun match. As pistol targets in a USPSA match, I'm like, I hope it works.
If you know how to shoot them, they're basically meh.
They're not hard. It's just whether or not the plates falling knock other plates off, and then you end up with reshoots.
Oh, we kind of at a level 1 sometime we don't really tend to have plates fall down, but we did have someone like shoot the plate hanger and it fell off, and because it's hit factor rules, we were like, that's yours. We are not reshooting you.
Okay.
Keep going. So yeah, I 100% agree that the Texas Star kind of is on that verge between shooting challenge and like timing challenge. So overall, the stages were fun. Personally, I shot as fast as Lane. He was 0.5 seconds faster than me, and we just don't talk about the hits. That's some conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But we both shot it in 69 seconds. Nice. And it was a good day of shooting. It rained a little bit when we started, but we put bags on the target, which is the immediate sign that all rain will stop.
Yeah.
We put, like, literally I saw him bringing the bags out and I'm like, guys, it's rained for like 5 minutes and it's already lightening up. Like, why are we doing
this? Or
this?
Changing targets to waterproof. Like the same thing. Like it's funny. The Don Lee of Lee's Targets, who he closed his business. I think he works for CHL Targets now, but he had asked me when he still had his company. He's like, so why do you do he was at Great Plains, and he said, so why do you use the waterproof targets on everything? Why not save them for when it rains? And I just said, it's cheap insurance.
Yep.
It's I got the idea from Kevin Hartman when he was running Minnesota section. I saw that. I'm like, that's fucking brilliant. We're just going to shoot the whole match with waterproof targets. Then it doesn't matter. Yep. And like when you could still get the good water, well, CHLs, the jury's kind of out on those. Like they're water resistant targets, I would say. They're not waterproof. The double alpha ones were, I mean, they're coated in wax. Pasters are a pain in the ass, but if you spray that, bend. But they didn't bend. They didn't warp. You could leave them overnight. Like it gets humid in the morning here. You could literally staple up the targets the night before, and they're fine in the morning. They're not going to soak up moisture overnight. Yep. But yeah, if you're hedging against rain, like I'd just rather not have to worry about it. I'm just going to run waterproof targets all the time. A lot of matches have had good luck with those CHL waterproof. It didn't rain at our match, so it didn't matter, but we had them.
Well, and it's kind of one of those, like, if there's a time to bring out the nice china, it's when you're putting on an event. Yeah. So, like, break out the nice targets because it's a special event.
I hope somebody, whether it's CHL or somebody else, just figures out the sweet spot for waterproofing cardboard. You know, however that happens, if it's, you know, if it comes to the point where they have to basically make it a glossy coat like a TV box.
Yep.
You know, if it's like printed on there and they cost $2 a target, don't give a shit. I would buy them for a major match.
Right.
Like it's still not going to be the most expensive thing in the match. Like I would buy them, you know, as long 100%. As they're waterproof.
100%.
The only thing that I had issues with when I was testing the double alpha targets is if the top of the cardboard was not sealed up, water gets in and then it would warp from the inside out. And when I still had some of those, I was going to experiment with like Vaseline or chapstick or just some sort of
something
oil
to cover the top.
To just, you know, seal it and keep it from getting in there. But anyway.
Yeah. So those were the good things about the match. It was fun. I did relatively well. I'm still trying to process how I'm doing better, but I'm not practicing. It's a remarkable thing.
Your reload still sucks dick. Like you need to fix that.
Me. But
it wasn't as bad as last week though.
I don't know that anything can be as bad as the other week.
When you miss the whole gun with the mag, that's pretty bad.
But so the one thing that happened, well, there was a few things that happened. My buddy Owen got beat by the Instagram influencer, which that sucks, especially because she abandoned the match halfway through and then posted that she was going to go home and make bread. Like, okay, thanks for coming. I did have to DQ a really good shooter. One of the guys came from Des Moines. His knee went out.
Oh,
yeah. So he was explaining that like afterwards that his knee, he had it repaired and sometimes it will kind of like shift on him. And he pushed off on Bay 5 and it went out on him and he kind of like caught his balance, but his arms went backwards.
Oh,
and I was like, oh no.
Oh,
stop.
I see who it is. He's good too.
Right. And he was like, oh yeah, no, 100%. Like he's like,
he knew he did it.
Right. Yeah. Well, he was like, DQ 180 break. I'm like, yep. He's like, okay, cool. And he had like unload and should clear, but by the time I got up to him and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
And that's like, okay, I don't care if you're a good shooter or a shitty shooter or a mediocre shooter. When that happens, that's how you should handle it.
Yep.
That's like, just be a man, a woman, be an adult about it.
Right. And like, no one was mad at him. Everyone was like, hey, dude, you okay? Like, oh, okay, cool. Like,
yeah,
I'll squad with him. Well, not next month because I'm not shooting in the winter. But, but like, I'd gladly squad with him. Cool, dude. There's no disrespect in DQing. Like,
no. It's not. I think early on, my perception of it was a badge of shame. And it can be, depending on how you DQ. Like,
right, and it's hard
DQ, it's hard to, like, if you just see practice score, because, like, I just hopped on practice score and I scrolled down and, oh, yeah, I know that Iowa guy name. He's really good. DQ next to his name. If I had seen that without you telling me the story, I would just figure it was something weird happened, a stumble or a, you know.
And And so it's like
I wouldn't think, oh, he's a dick because he DQ'd. Like, what a piece of shit. Like, I would not have thought that.
Right. And so yeah, it was one of those like, oh, yep, totally did that, blah, 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 like no issues. I'd gladly squall with him again. It was a freak accident. But it did remind me that, like, because I have a tendency, and I don't know if others do, but I'll voice it for everybody else, is that when it's someone I know or it's an experienced shooter, my perception or like my focus is not as intense as a new shooter.
You're not watching it as closely?
Yeah. Because I'm like, oh, this dude's an M class, like trying to be a GM, like beep, like whatever, do. I'm like, oh shit, that fucking happened, like versus like if a new guy, I'm like, all right, his muzzle's there, okay, we're good, okay, yep, this is fine. Like you learn to kind of like you can't be 100% focused on every shooter, and when someone's an BAM GM, you're kind of like, this dude has been around the block a time or two. We should be fine. Now, of course, we all know that that's not always the case, but this was definitely one of those that caught me off guard because I was kind of just like, oh, yep, he's going up to the front. Yep, he's doing that plan. And especially when you're ROing as the shooter, you're like, yeah, okay, so my plan.
You honestly could have had your back turned to him briefly.
Yeah.
You know, with that type of stage when you know he's going to end up retreating.
Yeah, that actually happened on Bay 4, the one that caused all the controversy, which it was actually named Controversy, is I would beep him and I'd immediately run backwards with my back turned to him. Yeah. Because I'm like, I know this dude. I know these people, so I feel safe doing it. And I didn't have to do it I didn't RO the like one new guy on the squad, but literally most of the people could have broken 180 and I wouldn't have been able to call it because I literally like hit button, ran away with my back.
Especially if you need to beat them somewhere. Like, I still don't think it's generally not good practice to not watch all the time, but I completely get what you're saying.
Right, and it's a little bit up to the stage designer to acknowledge RO traps. So yes. for some people,
I'm actually kind of bad at that, designing stages. It's something I don't always think of.
Right. And so like we run into it in Pro-Am a lot because the RO has to be on top of you. Like I don't allow retreat stages in general because the RO has in Pro-Am because the RO has to be like up your ass or else you might not hear it. Now and there's a conversation to be had about like testing the beep about how far back you can stand with them hearing it.
But that'll be different for everybody because like
you get to half deaf Marine veteran
exactly
versus, and so it's like I held it up to like near. I got long arms, so I held it as close as I could to them, and I hit beep and I ran until I was behind basically what was the back of the fault lines, and so it created a little bit of danger. And again, because it was a good shooter, I wasn't paying as close attention. But when it happened, I was like, "Oh shit, that just happened!" And I'm like, "Whoop, stop!" Mm-hmm. And so that definitely
was he still trying to go, or did he just kind of know it?
He was already limping, hobbling. So he was when I yelled stop, he was like, "Oh yeah, no, 100%." I figured that was because I kind of called it mid it happening because I'm trying to improve my response times. So that was a butt puckering moment, but it was handled well.
And that's like in the moment, like right after I shot that classifier at the dark match, when I had the surprise shot go off on my false started draw. I said it right away. Like if he had DQ'd me, I would just been like, okay, like that. Like I didn't know where it was, and if he saw it, I wouldn't have argued. Like, right. Even after I saw the video, I would have been like, I get why he called it. I wouldn't have been pissed at all. I wouldn't have. Yep. Yeah, and take your mics and DQs like a man.
Right, and that's how it goes. Yeah. And because like we had that on our last stage. Our last stage. For anyone out there who is a match director or a stage designer, please keep your standardized tests for like majors or serious matches because they're not fun at locals. We have one guy who builds stages and his stage description was 3 paragraphs. And it turned out to be go to one box, shoot the targets 2 times each, go to the other box, shoot the targets 2 times each, go forward to another box, shoot them all one hand each. So it was a 25 round kind of classifier-ishy stage, but every target was blacked out in some way. And it just wasn't fun. Like unloaded gun on barrel, like mags on belt, and it was like, I could have gone the entire time without shooting that, and I would have been perfectly happy.
What was the best stage?
Oh, see that.
Was it the one Heidi did with the star and the crisscross? I mean,
I'm always going to love an all steel stage. So Bay 4, what we did instead of having the spinner there was lane drink, turned it into 3 boxes. Each box was a different color, and you shot that colored steel from that box, and then went to the other one, shot that box colored steel, rinse and repeat 3 times. I enjoyed it. I thought that one was super fun. 4 was very fun, or 5 was very fun because I shot it with my hair on fire.
That's the video you posted on Reddit?
Yeah, I shot it a half a second faster than Lane, and he even commented to me. He goes, "How did you go half alpha, half Charlie?" And I was like, "Raw time champ." So, I did end up having fun with that one, but overall they were all in general fun. I don't know that they were like separators. Like I don't know that there was a lot to separate skill levels, but it was sometimes you just want to shoot a fun match.
Yeah.
And the only thing I'll say to end it is make all of your people at your club RO, because
even the ones who are scared of it.
100%, because if they make a mistake, guess what? Reshoot someone, or someone can be like, "Hey, no, this is the call you should make there." Oh, okay, cool. Or they can be like, "Hey, is this a Charlie or Delta?" Hey, I've been doing this for 8 years, and there were 4 or 5 shots. I was like, "Hey, I need someone else to come look at this because I'm not 100% sure." Guess what? No one thought less of me for it. And so, make your people RO, because my squad ended up with like, I think it was 11 out of 12 people could RO, and so it was, who's taking this? Cool, here you go. And didn't have to think about it, didn't have to worry about it. Someone had it in their hand, and we finished 35 minutes before everybody else.
Oh, nice. Yeah. No, I'm a big believer in, like, even at the dark match, there were people who they were very experienced shooters. I just knew they hadn't run a timer a lot, and I'm like, they're gonna recognize shady shit happening. I'm not worried about that.
Yep.
Their only trepidation might be, I haven't done this much. Don't care. Do it.
Yep.
And so, in order to keep our squad together, that was like, you and all the Omaha peeps came up, and I was like, I want to shoot with these guys. I don't want to move over to the other squad. Right. And I found people who could handle it, and was like, no, just handle it. Now, in hindsight, I wish they would have been more willing to go, hey, Andy, what do we do about this? Because we had, there were some scores that got put in very, very incorrectly when it came to procedurals, but it didn't really matter because they were getting a 0 anyway.
Right.
But
yeah,
it was a little wonky, but yeah, no, I totally agree.
We all make mistakes, so that's okay. And I'm 100% honest. Like, if someone's already zeroed the stage, I kind of score pretty harsh or pretty loosely after that. You're like, oh, they have 7 procedurals and 2 mics already? Yeah, we'll call that an alpha. Sure, whatever. Don't
Part
care.
of me, when somebody like shoots the whole stage outside the shooting area, I wish there was just a mechanism in practice where we could just say 0. Like, we're just put in random things that make this stage a 0, because it doesn't matter.
So we went to lunch after the match, which did you go
to Runza?
No, there's a place in Louisville called like Good Times.
Oh, like a little mom and pop pub or something?
So it's a bar that there's a restaurant next to it, and you can like order. So they have a little QR code. You can order the food, and they'll just bring it. They have like an attached hallway, and they just bring.
So it's
bring
like
you the food.
takeout next door.
Yeah, exactly. And so we were having lunch, and there was a soccer game on, and Todd brought up the great point. We should have red and yellow cards. Is like, you should just be able to be like, yellow card, Like, it zeroes out your stage, and you're just like, yellow card.
Yeah. Red card is a DQ.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I don't know exactly what you did, but red card. I'm red carding the shit out of this.
All right. Well, before we move on with our conversation about level 2 matches, like that got some traction in other places, and I want to just clarify some stuff we were talking about, but it also brought up other things that people, whether they thought we were talking about it or it brought up a new topic. I want to dive into that a little bit, but before we do that, music means fun, right? We have this bed that's for every goofy little thing we do that's fun. I have 3 NAS dad jokes. Because I'm not going to kill myself coming up with a whole bunch when 3 will do. So, are you ready, Jeff?
Yes.
Are you ready for my stupid firearm-related gun jokes?
Yes.
Okay. What's the difference between a flashlight and a tactical flashlight?
$75?
The douchebag turning it on. Although yours is not that. Yours is a pretty good punchline too. $75. Actually, it'd be more like $150, but
right. But it's got the glass breaker on it. You know.
Yeah. No, that was your punchline was good too. All right. Did you hear that SIG is making steel targets?
Oh no.
Yeah. One of them shot a cop in the leg.
Service related injury.
Okay, I got one more. You're reacting better to these than I thought you would. Okay. One more. Just one more. What do you get when you combine Die Hard with Smokey and the Bandit?
That's gonna be a really no. What do you get?
Yippee-ki-yay, mother trucker.
God damn it.
I don't care if you laugh because it's dumb, as long as you laugh. There you go, NAS Dad Jokes. The 3rd edition. If I think of one, I write it down, and I'm just like archiving them because it's too... the last time we did it, I tried to force it. They just weren't as funny.
If you have a great dad joke, send it to me on Instagram. I will add it to my queue. My buddy Nolan sent me a treasure trove of these that I need to write down so that I can call on them. But if you're like, oh, I got this great only one, and so it's not worth making a whole thing of, please send it to me, and I'll try to get it in the episode.
All right. So moving on. Before we go into the level 2 thing, I want to talk about shooting my 10 millimeter.
And was it fun?
It was so fun. And it was 15 rounds. 15 rounds. That was it. So I wound up accidentally finding Spear Gold Dot reloading bullets at the Fleet Farm here in town. And so I bought 200 of them, and I want to shoot a deer with it. 165 is lighter and faster than 180, so that's going to be I want to shoot a deer with a gold dot, hopefully. If I'm close enough, I won't, I'll have a rifle with me. I just realized, too, I'm holster shopping, and it's getting late in the game to be doing this, but I realized, I can't have a light on a firearm I'm hunting with.
Really?
That I'm hunting big game. No! God, no. If you're hunting deer with it, no. You can't have a light on the rifle. That's
is that
illegal.
One of those is that one of those poacher law type things?
Well, you can't use artificial light to locate animals. Big game. Varmints, predators, even then sometimes you're not allowed to, but no. So having the light on there, if I'm carrying it in bear country to protect myself, hell yeah, I'm going to have a light on it. But it's not my hunting firearm. I'm hunting with a big ass rifle, Anyway, but if I have a 5-round magazine in it, because if it's a gun I can shoot a deer with, it can't have more than a 5-round magazine in it. So I have a follower block in one of my 10 millimeter mags. Anyway, so I'm going through. I get these gold dots, and I download the PDF of the spear data for 10 millimeter for 165 grain, and the powder I can get the most velocity out of is accurate number 9. I was in luck. Shields had accurate number 9 in stock. So I go down and I buy a pound of accurate number 9. And it says, according to the book, the max load, you can get up to 1,344 feet per second.
Spicy
meatball. Yes, sir. So I loaded up 15 rounds, 14 and a half grains, 15 grains, and then max powder was 15 and a half grains. And so I get there, and I'm like, I wonder if this is going to kick harder than, like, the other stuff I'd loaded with Blue Dot or, you know, the Winchester White Box stuff I'd bought. Yep. Let me tell you, when the first round of the 14 and a half went off, I'm like, oh, fuck, yeah, this is hotter, for sure. This is a spicier meatball than anything I've shot out of that gun before, for sure.
Did you question if the gun had blown up at that point?
No. It wasn't that bad. It was just like, oh, this is stanky. Like, we've got some habanero in the salsa.
What?
Like, this isn't ghost pepper, but it's habanero. It's spicy.
I know this is completely out in left field. What would the power factor of that be?
Oh, I've got a calculator right here. I will do the math. So, I mean, if I got to book, I didn't quite get to book max. I think
say the 1250, 1300.
No, I got over 1300.
Oh, okay.
But here's the thing though, that was it basic. So tomorrow I'm going to go buy a Garmin chronograph because this time of year when the light's low, if there's any haze or cloud, my Caldwell it can't do it. It just doesn't. Where's the 15 and a half?
I've heard nothing but good things about those Garmin ones.
Oh, they're awesome.
I've even seen some matches are using them as their chrono.
No, I used it to chrono my ammo before I went to it was either Minnesota or Free State, and I borrowed it from my buddy Josh. He brought it to the match, and I found out, oh, my ammo will not make power factor. I better bring factory ammo, or I'm gonna shoot for no score. My average velocity in the hottest round, luckily those 5 all were registered. The rest of them, I got like a total of 3 rounds that got a velocity of the lighter loads out of 10 rounds. So I don't really have any good data, but the average was 1,300 feet per second. I had one at 1303 and one at 1322 was the fastest that I got. Okay. So got pretty close to that 1344.
What's the bullet weight on it, you said? 160?
165 times 1322. That is 218 power factor.
Jesus. Oh, that is a spicy meatball.
Uh-huh. Very, very, very spicy meatball.
And you're shooting this out of a Glock 20, correct?
Glock 20. Yep.
Okay.
Gen 5 Glock 20. It's just the factory barrel, like the 4.5 inch, however long the barrel is. I it'd be better if I had a longer barrel, but the longest Gen 5 barrel anybody makes, I think KKM makes a 6-inch barrel. So I'm not going to get that much more out of it. If it was a Gen 4, I could put like a 9-inch barrel in the thing, and then it would really, oh yeah, that'd be. Velocity with pistol cartridges usually beyond 9 inches, you're not really getting more velocity.
That's what she said?
Yeah, beyond 9 inches, you're not getting more. That was a well-timed. Okay, so I'm shooting this thing. The dot is not zeroed, I find out. It is decidedly high and left since the last time I shot it, but it was also with a very different load. But when I was shooting the 15 and a half grain load, usually when I'm testing pistol loads, like I can't tell the difference, but 9mm, I can't tell the difference between any of them. Like they all feel the same. Doesn't matter. It's just like, yeah, my 9mm handgun went off, and I looked at what it was. I didn't notice much of a difference between the 14 and a half and 15 grain, but I definitely noticed a difference between 15 and 15 and a half grain. Like it was, every one of them just had more of a jolt in my bones. And I was sitting, I didn't rest it because the picnic table sits too low. I didn't rest it, but I was more interested in the velocity than the accuracy, so I didn't care.
Right, you're shooting it like a man.
Yeah. And interestingly, the 15 grain group was better, but part of that, it could have just been me. Not necessarily that the load was more accurate or anything.
Yep.
But the 15.5 grain load was just like every time it went off. Now, when I shoot the 10 millimeter, like when I've shot it fast, it's like, yeah, I can feel it in my bones, but I can still like keep my wrists locked and it bounces my arms.
Right.
All three of these loads, my wrists were breaking like I was shooting a 44 Magnum.
Jesus.
Now, if you think I'm a pussy for that, you go ahead and call me a pussy. Maybe it was because I was sitting, and I'm just trying to be accurate, so I'm just not thinking about it. But like, especially, I noticed it a lot with the hottest load. Like my wrists were like, if you've ever shot a 44 Magnum before, you can't keep your wrists locked. Like it will break your wrists. Your wrists will bend upward as the gun goes off. The recoil will make your wrists bend. Most, normal service caliber handguns, my arms move in unison, the wrists don't bend.
Right.
And this was like the gun was pointed skyward when it went off. It was fun. But it wasn't going off to the point where it was like, this isn't fun. It was super fun. It was so fun. I was having so much fun shooting this freaking hand cannon. Now, I know it's not a 500 Smith & Wesson or a 44 Magnum or anything, but like for a semi-auto handgun, like this is fucking fun. Like,
well, and you don't like 120 miles an hour in a race car is fun. 160 miles an hour in a race car is like, oh shit, we about to crash.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, sometimes you can have fun that isn't at the top end.
Right. And that's exactly it. Like it was still reasonably comfortable to shoot, even though like this would not be fun to shoot a match with. Like clearly, like I'm not shooting 120 rounds of club match with this thing, with this ammo. I would do it with softer ammo and some other ammo that I'll tell you about in a moment.
But if you're trying to down a deer in an ethical way.
Yeah, like no, I'm pushing the pressure curve with this ammo, like intentionally. Like I'm trying to make it hot as I can safely do. So the actual bullet energy I figured out was like 600 and damn, what was it? Oh, here it is. Oh shit, it reloaded. Oh, I got it. 600 and oh wait, that was a different figure. This is great pod. Let me go 165. So the the hottest round I fired, 1322, that is 640 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle.
That's a little bit.
It's pretty much double a 9mm, just shy of double depending on velocity and weight. But
so this is that 10 millimeter that everyone wanted to issue to everybody, and then they were like, "My wrist cannot handle this."
For the average person who's not a super experienced pistol shooter, yeah, it would be a disaster. But it was thought to be less than a 357 Magnum out of a revolver. Revolvers kind of recoil weird, so they're uncomfortable in different ways. Like just the trigger guard smacking you in the hand, like kind of hurts.
Right, because you aren't actually like up on top of the recoil. You're kind of down below it.
You're behind it, like literally behind it with a revolver more so.
I'm not gonna lie. This conversation, I am currently shopping for the Smith & Wesson Performance Center 10 millimeter.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It has this 5.6 inch barrel and it's ported.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big bitch. Let's go.
No, like just buy one. Plus, I'd like to shoot that one. I got the Glock because I thought it was going to be easier to get holsters. In hindsight, I wish I would have just got the Gen 4 Glock 40 because I could have bought a Safariland holster for it.
They make a Safariland holster for
the older 10 millimeter Glocks. They do
a 5-inch.
Yeah, that's like the 34 sized gun.
That's a chunky beast.
But the Gen 5, the slide's a lot fatter, so it doesn't fit in any Safariland holster.
Oh, that's annoying and interesting.
Yeah. But anyway, now there's one other thing I want to talk about with shooting this. So the little, MTM cartridge box that I brought these 15 rounds in. It's a 50 round box. It was an old one that I had some old Blue Bullets 40 major ammo in from when I shot limited 5 years ago.
Right.
And there were like 20 rounds in there. Oh, well, I'll just bring these in this box. I don't have anywhere to put these 40 rounds, so I'll just leave them in there. And I'm at the range going, wait a minute. 10 millimeter. Same bullet as a 40 Smith & Wesson. Yeah, let's try it. Let's see if it works. So I put 40s in my 10 millimeter.
Yeah.
It ran like a top. I did have one malfunction where it just didn't fully cycle the slide, like not enough energy to cycle the slide, but these were competition powder puff loads.
Yeah.
So there was one round that wasn't enough to cycle it. And I had heard that before about, oh, you can shoot 40s out of a 10 millimeter pistol. Okay.
Right.
I'm not sure I believed it at the time because a lot of semi-autos index off the case mouth, and some extractors don't grab it like in time, so it would go in further into the chamber. But every single one of them fired. One failed to extract. That was it.
That's pretty good.
It was fun. I also shot it over the chronograph, and some of those were like under 900 feet per second. But they were 180 grain. So 180 times one of them I remember very vividly was like 876. That would be sub major. It would be a minor round. But it was fun. I had so much fun shooting that 10 millimeter yesterday. It was great. Everybody should have a 10 millimeter. Like, there's a reason why they're kind of resurging in popularity, because they're fucking awesome. That's why.
And because no one shoots their guns.
Well, most people don't shoot their guns. I shoot my guns. But
Right.
I haven't shot that gun nearly as much as I want to, but I'm going to shoot it a bunch here in the next 3 weeks for sure. But anyway, all right. There's my 10 millimeter stories. Let's see. We were coming. Oh, the level 2 conversation. Okay. So there was a little bit of some people were a little.
They're a little mad at me.
Well, they were a little mad at you, but like you also started talking about stuff that wasn't like the original topic idea, and I love that this happened. Like, you know, the fact that this brought up a bunch of conversations around this. Bert sent me a text that said, "Hey, tell Jeff he can go fuck himself because I'm proud of my B class.
I will
Great
fight you,
Plains
Bert.
trophy."
I will fight you.
Well, he won't fight you, but
I know.
but you know, like, I strongly disagree. I think class trophies and awards are great. Like, it's something to shoot for because, well, then why am I there? I'm not going to win the overall at the match,
Right.
you know, at a level 2 or 3, but I can, like, when I won A class at Iowa last year, I went there with the mentality, I'm going to fucking win A class. Like, that was my goal. I was actually confident in it, and then it happened, and I was like, yes.
Right, but the thing you brag about the most is that you beat a bunch of M class people and finished with close to the GMs.
Well, no, I don't. I only brag about beating you and Steven.
Yeah, and finishing, what was it, 89%?
No, 83.
Was it 83?
It was only 83.
Did we finish that?
No, the only M class
that
shooter
was
the only
that
M
was-
class shooter I didn't beat was Ben Eggleston, and that's because he's a sandbagger who never shoots classifiers.
right, and that was the year that Lane Drink defeated everybody by like 15%.
No, that was the year before.
Oh, that was the year
That was the
before?
year before when he completely ruined the curve.
Yeah.
It wasn't a classify. It didn't count as a classifier, but if it had, he would have ruined it for everybody because it would have been like a C class or a low B class score for me.
Gotcha.
But anyway, so it was. I got just random text messages. Hey, loved your conversation on Friday, and thank you, appreciate that. We got one guy commented on Reddit, said, just listen to episode 73. It's an extremely interesting topic. The big question I asked myself is, with it being a member-driven organization, how do we justify saying only members who are better at the sport can come to nationals? Now, this wasn't the point of the conversation about level 2s, but this is something Jeff kind of talked about, like, where do we want our nationals to be?
Yeah, no, and I think that's a very good branch to the conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Another thing too about as far as that goes, like something I thought of after we had this conversation last week was, you know, all of the matches in the bylaws says they have to be open to all USPSA members,
Right.
like the majors do. I personally would not, depending on the finances of it, if it can be done correctly, I would not be opposed if USPSA put on what is essentially an invitational national championship.
Yeah.
And I'm talking like a really small pool. All of the staff would have to be like basically hired. Like the idea I'm thinking of is it would literally have to be staffed. Like this is not like a regular nationals. This would be like the Super Bowl of practical shooting.
And that was that was one of the conversation points I was trying to make, is that idea of like the Super Bowl is a great example of this. The referees of the Super Bowl, they getting paid. Oh, they getting paid. But like they ain't participating. They're there to be the best refs in the nation.
Yeah.
For the best people of that sport at that time. And so I 100%, and I've argued this before, that like C-class shooters and B-class shooters are the foundation of our sport. I understand that. I 100% do, and I love all of you. But I want to know who's going to beat Christian. I want to know who's going to beat Max Leograndis.
And
that's what I'm there to look for.
And as I'm thinking about this, because like I was thinking about my buddy Nick, he went to Three Gun Nation back in the day. Like he made the TV show. And as I was thinking about this, I'm like, okay, this is not only like our best of the best championship, it's also a TV show on the internet. You know, like it's marketing for the sport is how it needs to be approached. And it needs to be, the stages all need to be like video friendly. And stuff like this. I don't want to go down this rabbit hole for very long, but like it's just a thing I thought of. And yes, it would not be like open to everybody, and you know, like ROs would have to be paid literally.
Yeah, and the hope would be in that situation that Canik and Smith & Wesson and Glock whatever would also be like, hey, we're going to put our best shooter with our best product in front of as many eyes as humanly possible.
Well, no, they don't get to do that unless they qualify and they're invited. Like, no, this is very much a...
I get that, but JJ Nils, now I'm forgetting everybody's name, Christian, Max Michel, like the gang is going to show up and they're all represented by, like each company is going to be like, hey, how do we qualify for this? This is how we qualify for this. Hey, we pay you to do this. Go do all that to qualify. And because that's how it should be. Like that, the top.
It would bring a pro element to the sport,
right? And I
like
think that
really
could be,
pro.
Right, I think that could be super interesting, and making it a production would be super interesting. And at the same time, I 100% believe there should be a single stack match for single stack only. I think it. Where's the single stack match at? And I'm forgetting.
There used to be like it was. Oh, what was it called?
Oh, Sups.
Because they were still at Paso Park. They were still shooting
Paso
out
Park.
in
That's the
Illinois.
one. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking. Paso Park used to be like, and they may still be like the 1911 match. Like you can't shoot another division there. It is single stack only.
Yeah,
and everything is built around it. And I'm like, please keep doing that. Please keep doing that. That's awesome. Like. Make them relevant. I mean, literally, Revolver has its own sport, which is ICOR, but like PCC, make a PCC only match. That would be fun as shit to make it.
There was one. We had one.
Yeah. And so like, I don't want to make it sound like I don't respect that level of it, but I want nationals to mean something like the Super Bowl means something. I want the top of the sport to be the top, and I wanted a production like what was that old show? I think it was Hot Shots. That's what it was called.
Oh yeah.
That was the coolest show. That show is not recreated every year, or like at least a version of it
It was really just a one-off.
Well, there were 4 seasons.
Oh, you're thinking of Top Shot.
No. I'm thinking of Hot Shots.
No, with Colby Donaldson?
No. Hot Shots, they did 1 year where they followed Max Michel across. He won.
Oh, there were 4 seasons of that?
Yeah, there was one where they only followed Max Michel, and he won Pro-Am Nationals, Steel Challenge Nationals, and USPSA Nationals. There was one where he went to the World Shoot, and they followed him for that. Then there was I think it was the first season, they followed like 6 different people on that one. And then the second season, they only followed like 1 or 2 people. And then the third and fourth season, I think they only followed Max. But like, that was cool as shit. For anyone who's a UFC fan, they used to do these massive videos of like.
No, it was hot. Did you say Hot Shots?
It was not Hot Shots?
Yeah, it was Hot Shots.
Okay.
I couldn't remember what you said.
Yeah. But if you used to follow old school UFC, they used to do these massive promo videos where it'd be like where the fighter came from, what got him started, like where do they train, what was their training, like what was an interesting thing about training for this fight, like, and they would play these like, oh shit, that guy got knocked out in like 15 seconds. Oh shit, like how do we fill this time? And they would just cycle through these promos. Like, I want those promos for Christian and Nils and JJ and like
yeah.
I want nationals to mean more than just being a 3-day local. Because when I shot it at Production Nationals in 2021, it felt like a 3-day nationals, and I was like, "This is not really motivating to ever come back to."
It was more than a 3-day local. It was better than that. Like, you're shitting on it more than it was. Now, granted, there was a porta potty with so much shit in it you could see it above the top of the seat. However, it was, the stages were better than the average locals I go to. Like, the stages were good. They were challenging, even though they didn't look sexy. Like, when you got to them, when you actually shot them, it was like, well, this just completely ate my ass.
Right.
I just shit all over myself here. Okay. I mean, they because the thing I remember about that match was there was a lot of targets that would dare you to do something dumb, and I did it every time. It's like, oh, I can do this. When I had been shooting carry optics the previous year, but it was the only nationals I could go to, so I'm shooting production, and I'm thinking about doing stuff like a CO shooter as a production shooter, and you got to aim more in production. So
I did have to teach Colin that. He was like, dude, like, I can't run my production gun as fast as my optics gun. I'm like, yes, that's what we call iron sights.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was like, you have to shoot it 10% slower. He's like, but what about everybody else? I'm like, everybody else is shooting it 10% slower.
Okay.
100%.
We just went on a tangent I didn't even mean to hit, but anyway.
Us never.
As this guy on our Reddit, Dry Edition 7816 goes, as far as L2 matches are concerned, as a shooter who lives in an area where it is commonplace to shoot between 7 to 12 stage locals, damn,
Jesus,
it gets hard to justify a reason to pay 10 times the amount of money to shoot a level 2. Do I still do it? Sure, because I'm an asshole, but I ask myself why I'm doing it all the time. The only benefit I see is there is a slightly stricter adherence to rules, maybe a tad bit harder stages, and some better shooters come from farther away when you call it a level 2. If you're at a stage in your shooting, which I think most are, where your biggest competition is yourself, it likely doesn't make sense. Now, our conversation originally was not about level 2s as a shooter. That was never the criticism. Is it worth it to go to level 2s as a shooter? I love level 2 matches. They're like the bread and butter of what I do as a competitor. Like, I love level 2 matches. They're the thing I do the most of. They're great.
But we come from an area, and I'm learning through you and other people that I'm exposed to because of the podcasts and just my growing network of people, is that like we're used to the concept of a local is a 5-stage match.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, down in like Rio Salado, or the conversation we had last week about Utah, where they run a 2-day
Yeah.
like 90-person 8-stage match.
Every local is a level 2 there.
Right. And
I
it's
mean,
like,
it's not, but it's like the size of one.
right. Well, and again, kind of going back
Oh,
to my
by the way,
comment-
they're level 2. The Utah State match is usually like well over 200 shooters. I want to say like 240, 250,
Right.
something like that.
And so it goes back to my comment about my perception of nationals feeling like 3 locals was because, like, again, I'm not shitting on the clubs you shoot at, but like ENGC, especially when like Thomas and some of the other like high level match or stage designers were put on stages going to nationals, I was like, oh yeah, no, these feel like what I shoot at locals, because I had the RM of a national match making stages. Like my perception, as you said before, my perception is warped by the club that I'm at.
Yeah.
And so it is an interesting conversation of making the level 2 mean something more than just, hey, it's more stages and the ROs are sitting on the stage doing the work. Because like I shot Tanfo Timmy's Minnesota section like match. I forget the exact
Northwoods?
drama. Yeah, whatever Northwoods called their quote unquote sort of level 2 like match. And it was great. I had a fun time. The stages were good. Like but we were ROing ourselves, and the food provided was Tanfo running around on his ATV, dropping off snacks, which was great. I'm not shitting on this in any way, shape, or form, but it was literally a big local.
It was a micro major.
It was a micro major that felt,
or mini major, not micro, mini major.
Right, mini major that felt more special. And again, I hate to use this modern phrase, but it's a vibe. Like there's a vibe to a major.
No, there is. I agree 100%. There's a feeling around it, like old Area 3, like not like
it had a vibe.
It had a vibe, even though the stages were kind of dumb sometimes. And they weren't as dumb as people make them out to be. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, they're the dumbest thing ever." No, not all. Some of them were. Most of them weren't that dumb. But it had a vibe. Like you had vendors around. You had the big Hornady H sitting out there in the walkway. You know, as a corporate. Hey, this is a big deal decoration. I use the phrase pomp and circumstance. Yeah.
The pomp and circumstance around the match is what makes it more important. At a local, even if it's because my club sometimes runs like a 7. I mean, we could turn it into an 8 or 9 stage local with no problem. And it would still just be a local. We showed up in the morning, we set everything up, we tore everything down. Some of us went to lunch, day's over. Whereas a major, like, hey, we spent a couple days building stages. We, if you can, you get, a food truck to come down, or you get Subway sandwiches or whatever. Like, and you got your banners and you got ROs and you got like, there's a little things. And I think one of the points I was trying to make is majors need to feel special, and whether that be from what they provide or who they allow in are two different sides to making it feel special. Because if it's like, hey, we added an extra day so we can include more people, you're like, all right, well, so this is just like how many people can get into a match. Like, it's not really, the participation isn't the special part. Okay, are we having a special match because it's epic? And you're like, the stages feel nice, but they're not anything different than what I would set up in a local match.
Yeah.
And that's going to change between people. But like you said, we have a vendor bay where you can shoot an open gun, or there's, Masterpiece Armors over here, and this place is over here, this place is over here, and this place is over here. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, this is kind of cool to like mingle with people, or have a meet and greet booth where, Nils is shaking hands and kissing babies or whatever. Like, it would be, it's those little things that make the matches more important. And going back to our original conversation point, I'm glad that the conversation spawned a bunch of other conversations, and it didn't just get focused on what I specifically said, because I know that I said some controversial things. I say them because I do believe in them, but also because me saying them also creates these other conversations because the door got opened.
Yeah, and I like them because opposing viewpoints make for a better podcast. Period. Like, if Jeff and I agreed on everything all the time, this would be boring as hell. We agree on a lot, but like around that, like I disagreed strongly about some of the stuff he was talking about. And if we agree too much, I'll just intentionally disagree with him because it's a more interesting show.
Right.
There's a little inside baseball for you.
Right, because if it's like, hey, that match sucks, and you're like, yep.
Yeah, and you know what you should do? Practice reloading with the gun and magazine at the same angle. It makes it go a lot better. Jesus. It's not hard. Just like do it like 5 times.
I have to do this thing called practicing. I'm working on that part.
Okay. Well, good luck with that. Yeah, and you know, there's a million directions of this conversation that it went. Just to put a bow on it, like the original point was, it's not. And this was brought up on the Paracast this past Sunday when their episode came out, and it was talked about on their Telegram channel. Was our conversation about this, and the guy who posted it said, well, how else are you supposed to get RO's major match experience running matches? And their take on it was basically like, Billy Bob's Tactical Shoot could be the greatest match of the year if it's run well. And RO experience is RO experience. It doesn't matter what the match is. Now, it might matter if you want to go RO at Nationals and you're filling out your work history on your USPSA profile, because they only let you put level 2 and 3 matches in there. But that's not the first source I'm going to for bona fides of a RO being a good RO. I'm going to talk to people at their club. I'm going to talk to people in their section or area and go, hey, do you know this guy? Is he good? If it's someone I don't know, which I'm gonna end up with a bunch of ROs I don't know this year with Area 3 in 2025. Because like the locals in Rapid are not going to be enough. Whoever chooses to work it from like Sioux Falls, Omaha, Minneapolis, Minnesota, North Dakota, whoever, like I really want as many Area 3 people to work the match as possible. I want a variety of stages designed by a variety of Area 3 match directors and stage designers. That's what I want it to be. I want it to be this collaborative thing, because the more people you involve in a project with just like one person coordinating, I just want to coordinate the thing. I don't want to be the grand poobah of the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just want it to be as awesome as it can be. That's right. And that's all I'm going for.
Yeah. And one thing our sport relies on is reputation. And so like, if you're ever like, oh, like what sets people apart? It's like how they act at a club. Like that. Yeah. If you called up ENGC at any one of our match directors or whatever, and you're like, hey, give me your 5 best ROs, we'd be like, okay, here you go.
Actually, I had this conversation with Thomas about Steven 3 years ago, the first time when he signed up to RO at Great Plains. I didn't know him from a hole in the wall.
Yep.
He was brand new shooter. And Thomas said, hey, this guy Steven's going to sign up to work it as well. I'm like, so does he get it? Does he know what's going on? And he's like, yeah, I mean, he's new, but like he gets it. He's learning and whatever. And now, you know, obviously I would pick Steven to be an RO at a major I'm running any day, you know,
right?
Like,
yeah, and
clearly gets it.
Yeah. And one of the reputation sources is having that like very trusted person at whatever club that you can call it. Like, if I was like, hey, I need to get some Des Moines boys, like, hey, Scott, give me who are your 5 best ROs. Okay, give me their emails. I'll email them, see who wants to do it. Like, you just got to find that like trusted person that can be like, yep, I vouch for this person, blah 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 blah. So you know, making those connections in that network.
Indeed. Okay. So we still have a few other things here, but like we're at an hour and a half already.
Yeah, I figured we were.
Like it went by fast because Jeff did all the talking this week. Like, holy shit! Like you definitely beat me on talking this week. Well done, sir. Well done. Maybe you could make it a little more positive next time. Maybe you could be less of a dick.
I'm not working on that part, but I'm working on the positivity.
You can
I'll
still be a
get very
dick as long as you're positive.
Exactly.
Like, you got to outweigh the dick with some positive.
But it's a big dick.
Just because you're 6'9", I don't believe that. I don't give a shit how tall you are. And on that note, thank you so much for listening. Patreon.com/notanothershootingshow. Just $3.57 a month. That's all you get, ladies, from Jeff. $3.57 a month.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. Just 3.5. That's what some of the girls on Instagram say. All you need is 3.5, 4 inches. It's fine. Patreon.com/notanothershootingshow. Just $3.57 a month, and you get an extra show every single week. Maybe it's as good or bad as this one. We never know. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you on the next one. I forgot the outro. He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is Not Another Shooting Show.